seen at the head of most Confederate fleets, the Providence class was a hybrid carrier-destroyer, providing the CIS Navy with a launching platform for countless fighters and bombers, as well as a formidable warship, on par with the Republic's Venator class. The Providence class was designed by the Quarren Freedac Volunteers Engineering Corps on the planet Mon Calamari. The typical curved hull elements and organic aesthetic of Mon Calamari cruisers can be seen in the Providence class, giving the ship a much sleeker appearance than other vessels in the Confederate fleet, such as the Munificent or Lucrehulk classes. The standard Providence class was 1,088 metres long and 198 metres wide. The vessel's primary hull was long and needle-like, with a tall observation tower protruding from the ship's aft and extending into a ventral fin on the ship's underside. At the vessel's midsection was an enormous hangar bay, extending all the way through the ship from port to starboard, open to space on both sides. This provided the Providence class with a colossal flight deck, capable of supporting its hundreds of vulture droids and tri-fighters. A larger variant of the Providence class existed that measured 2,177 metres in length. This version was classified as a separatist dreadnought, and was capable of performing a planetary blockade single-handedly. One example of this enlarged variant was the Invincible, the flagship of the infamous Admiral Trench. The Providence class was heavily armed, carrying 13 quad-turbo laser cannons, 34 dual laser cannons, 2 heavy ion cannons, an extensive array of point defense lasers, and 102 proton torpedo tubes. The vessel carried a huge fighter complement, including 120 tri-fighters, 120 vulture droids, and several attack shuttles and landing craft. The Providence class was heavily armoured and shielded, with some models even carrying cutting-edge thermal shields, capable of absorbing even a direct torpedo volley. One of the primary purposes of the Providence class was the deployment of invasion forces onto hostile planets. To this end, the ship carried 160 MTTs, as well as 280 armoured combat vehicles. The vessel also held 1.5 million deactivated B-1 battle droids, ready for deployment and activation at a moment's notice. Perhaps the most famous example of the Providence class was the flagship of General Grievous, the Invisible Hand. Grievous was issued the ship by Newt Gunray after the loss of his former flagship, the subjugator-class heavy cruiser Malevolence, and quickly earned the ship a reputation as one of the most feared vessels in the galaxy. The Invisible Hand, alongside her sister ships the Lucid Voice and the Colicoid Swarm, frequently raided the Republic hyperlanes of the core worlds, striking fear into the local population, and were present for many decisive Confederate victories, including the Battle of Humbereen and Operation Dirge's Lance. Though the Invisible Hand served through many battles, most famous among them was the Battle of Coruscant, the perilous final attack on the Republic capital during the closing days of the Clone Wars. Though the Invisible Hand succeeded in its mission to capture the Supreme Chancellor, it came under heavy fire from the Venator-class Star Destroyer Gualara and was forced into the atmosphere of Coruscant. Though General Grievous managed to escape, the ship was torn in two by the pressures of re-entry, with its forward section crashing on a Galactic City landing strip. Parts from the wreck of the Invisible Hand were used to decorate the new Invisible Hand Cantina on Coruscant, a tribute to the memory of the feared vessel. Thank you for watching Spacedock. Please remember to like, subscribe and share for more science fiction spacecraft summaries. And if there's a particular spacecraft you'd like to see looked at, let me know in the comments below and I'll get right on it.